My family shamed me for being childless, so I adopted the one person they all abandoned. I'm 35, financially independent, and never wanted kids. But at my family reunion, you'd think I was a villain for not having babies. Still single? My cousin Daria said loud enough for everyone to hear, showing off her youngest school photos. Must be nice having all that free time. Another cousin chimed in about how their lives really started after having kids. Then someone asked, have you considered adoption? It's harder when you're older. It was a coordinated ambush delivered with fake sweetness. Even my parents joined in, with mom mentioning I was wasting my best years and dad wanting more grandkids. My accomplishments never mattered here. The only currency they valued was diapers and Christmas photos. Then the topic shifted to my sister Amelia, the former golden child who got pregnant at 21, dropped out, and disappeared into addiction years ago. My aunt mentioned casually, Amelia's son Jamie is in foster care now. She said it like discussing the weather, detached, zero emotion. I froze. Jamie. I'd never met him, but knew he was about 10. What do you mean foster care? I asked. She shrugged. You know how Amelia is. Poor kid, but what can you do? I looked around waiting for someone to say something, but they all went back to their conversations like Jamie didn't exist. My parents waved me off dismissively. You wouldn't understand. It's not that simple. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about Jamie, a 10-year-old abandoned by his mother and dismissed by the very people lecturing me about family values. I started digging online. Jamie had been bouncing between foster homes for years. How could they pretend he didn't exist while judging me? The next morning, I called a social worker. This wasn't about proving anything. It was about a kid who deserved better. A week later, I met Jamie at the foster center. He was smaller than expected, drawing robots at a corner table. His hair was shaggy, shoulders hunched, gripping his pencil like it was his lifeline. He didn't trust me. Why would he? But when I complimented his intricate robot drawing, he mumbled thanks. I brought him a sketchbook on my next visit. His face lit up for the first time. Over weeks, he opened up slowly. He loved drawing robots, spaceships, superheroes. He told me about his mom, how she used to sing to him, then stop showing up when he needed her most. When I decided to adopt, my family was furious. They accused me of embarrassing them. Mom said I was stealing Amelia's child, the same child they all abandoned without a second thought. My parents refused to provide adoption references, calling me unfit to raise a child. It stung deeply, but coworkers and friends backed me up. During Jamie's first sleepover, we tried making pancakes for dinner. Batter ended up everywhere except the pan. We laughed until we cried. The first time I saw him completely let his guard down. That night, tucking him in, he asked quietly if he could come back again. I told him he was always welcome here. At the custody hearing, a distant cousin unexpectedly testified about how ashamed she was of the family for abandoning Jamie. Jamie told the judge he felt safe with me and wanted to stay. The judge ruled in our favor. Jamie officially became my family. I blocked my family's numbers the next morning, not from anger, but to focus on Jamie and our future. Months passed. Jamie struggled with math but excelled in art. His teacher featured one of his robot drawings in the school exhibition. He entered a district art competition and won second place. At the ceremony, he told the room, "Art helps me say things I don't know how to say out loud. It makes me feel like I'm not alone." The applause became a standing ovation. Jamie started calling me Mom instead of my name. When I asked why, he said, "Because you're the first person who made me feel like I belonged somewhere." At a family wedding, relatives made snide comments about my charity project. I'd had enough. I stood up and called out their hypocrisy, reminding them they'd ignored Jamie when he needed help. Then I took Jamie's hand and we left. Jamie's confidence grew. He researched high schools with art programs, talking excitedly about becoming a professional artist. His work was displayed at a local gallery where strangers admired his talent. One evening, working on our scrapbook, Jamie looked up and said, "This feels like home now." My family spent years judging me for not having children while they abandoned one who needed them. The irony was perfect, but the real victory was watching Jamie transform from a scared, forgotten kid into a confident young artist who knew he was loved.